Welcome into Week 10 of the Raymond Monica Show. I'm joined now by Coach John Pruden. He's the defensive backs coach for Clarion University. And so let's get started with you and your life. So you started out playing at Charleston University. Your
Yes.
team got as high as 10th in the nation, and you were even voted captain that season.
Yes.
What happened in your playing time when you were at Charleston there?
It was a great time. We had a lot of veterans on the team. When I transferred, I came from a junior college. So the year that I came there, 2015, we had a lot of talent, a lot of young guys, a lot of veterans, which kind of meshed together. And we had a good leadership that we strived to and got us to the top of the nation. So that was a great experience. And we made it to the national championship, well, almost to the national championship. So, yeah, it was 2 rounds away from it. So it was a good time.
Right, so then you got into coaching a little bit. How did you end up getting into coaching, and what happened in your career path, and how did you end up at Clarion?
Well, to start off, how I got to coaching was my JUCO coach. Even though I knew him my entire life, coming from Burlington, Jersey, he was our deep defensive back coach in junior college. So he was the biggest reason why I kind of had his attitude, how he approached the game. Even though I already had a love for it, and he kind of like drew me towards it. Then later on, I was a trainer, and that was another reason why I kind of like worked my way towards becoming a coach, and especially just because I love the game. So that was my broad knowledge of everything, how I liked it. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so on top of coaching, you also worked at NFL Films as a saber logger and a film editor.
Yes.
What does that job entail?
Basically, what we're doing is we're breaking down film from every week of the game. So even if it's off season, we're going back checking out top 100 players that got voted. So we go through their film, break down the best plays, sound effects. So if you ever watched it, everything that we're breaking down, as you're seeing, is stuff that we do. So it's a day-to-day process. So every day you're looking at different films. You might see something different from a different angle because there's over 100 cameras at every game. So there's multiple angles of every play that you might see. So that's how my experience with there was. It was good, especially good to see national players come in the game to the facility, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. So you see a lot of players come in and out, interview, and especially good to see Nate Burleson in them and Good Morning America, Good Morning Football they call it. So it was a good experience there. I like it.
So talking about how you're the defensive backs coach here, this is your first year at Clarion being the
Yes.
DB's coach, so you have a whole new room of players you've never worked with before.
Yes.
Almost at the end of the season here, what have you seen from your guys this season?
My biggest thing is just their technique. That was the biggest jump that I've seen from camp to now. Just now they're more understanding of the game, understanding formations, what they're going to bring. The biggest thing I seen was just their determination and them not giving up. That was their resiliency is what I really noticed so much about this group, that I've seen that they understand they messed up. They want to work where they messed up on and try to get better and create better habits.
Awesome, Coach Pruden. Thank you for your time. On to head coach Raymond Monica. Coach Monica, welcome in. This is week 10 of the Raymond Monica Show. So before we get into the game a little bit, I want to talk about one thing that happened this past weekend. The previous head coach here, Coach Al Jacks, was inducted into the PA Sports Hall of Fame. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, what a great honor for Coach Jacks to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. Well deserving. What a great person. He was one of the first people I met over here. I had the interview, and then I wound up getting his number, and he drove me around while I was on campus. But we have been really good friends. I stop and talk to him every so often. We visit over the phone, and really been a good friend since I've been here.
Right, so getting into the game a little bit, you had a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball, but especially in your wide receiver room. One of your players, Nathan Roby, stepped up and not only led the team in rushing, but also receiving. What have you seen from him that lets him step up in a game situation like that and make big plays?
Well, Nathan practiced extremely hard. When he got the opportunity to get in, he did a really good job. Did a really good job on a fly sweep. Made some good catches also. But, he's been doing it at practice. And I expect him to have a very good game this weekend.
Right, so another one of your players I want to talk about, this time on the opposite side of the ball, is your linebacker, Kareem Hamden. So he was an amazing player last year. He was second team All-PSAC. He was an All-American honorable mention. In this season, he is 2 tackles away from 200 career tackles here at Clarion. What have you seen from him, not only on the field, but also his leadership qualities that he brings to your team?
Well, Kareem works hard at practice each and every day. You see him running around making plays, and, it carries over to the game. He made a lot of plays last year, and he's continuing doing it this year. But works extremely hard, and success is being the best you can be, and he brings it every day.
Right, so the player we're going to have on the show next after you, his name's Robby Lachmann. Last season, he suffered a season-ending knee injury in Week 3. And entering his age 26 season this year, he's come back, fought super hard, and is actually leading your team in sacks right now with 5.5. And he's even won an honor as the PSAC Defensive Player of the Week. What have you seen from him and his resiliency to come back and make big plays after a terrible injury like that?
Well, the thing about it, Robby, has worked extremely hard to get back to where he needs to be. Against Lockhaven, they couldn't block him off the edge when we needed the pass rush to get to the quarterback. He was Conference Player of the Week that week, and he's made some plays like that during the season. He's got a long body, and at times he does some tremendous things, and he's been getting better and better.
Right, so last week you had a tough loss at Slippery Rock. Now you have to get your guys ready to go back on the road to play IUP when they're at home. How do you get your guys ready after a tough loss to go on the road and get a win?
Listen, think about it. After we meet on Monday and go over the film and see and make correction, we move on. When we win games, we do exactly the same thing, and we go to work. So there's no secret success. You got to work hard. So. We got on the practice field Monday and went to work, and today we'll do the same things.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you so much for your time. On to Robby Lachmann. Welcome into our last segment of the Raymond Moncada Show. I'm joined by Robby Lachmann, defensive end for Clarion University football. And so you grew up in Germany, and you actually didn't start playing football until you're 19 years old. How did you get exposed to football in Germany?
So firstly, most of the sports that we play are club-based. They're not really school-based. So coming back from South Africa, I went back to high school, and one of my classmates always brought his pads and helmet to school because he had to go to the club facilities after school. And one time I was just asking him, hey, can I come with you? And I was being 175 pounds at that point. I was very, very skinny. And they moved me to tight end, just say hey, just do this. And they told me to run a seam route. I didn't know what it was, so coach just got frustrated. It's just see that guy, just run past him. And I did that, and little to know, there was now professional linebacker Nicholas Gustav, and he knocked me on my butt. The first thing that hit the ground was the back of my helmet, and the next thing was my knees hitting my face. So I was laying on the ground, I'm like, yes, this is what I want to do the rest of my life.
Awesome. So after a short stint at Albany, you end up here at Clarion. What made Clarion a good fit for you in your career here?
So with eligibility issues, I had to find a D2 place that felt like home. One of the big reasons that I chose Albany was the family atmosphere and the tight-knit community that came with it. So when I first got introduced to Clarion, I saw all these nice qualities here. I saw the amazing facilities at Tippin. I value that a lot. I saw a great strength program and a football program that was hungry to be put back on the map. Obviously last year didn't work out so well, but I'm seeing that spark ignite to a fire again this year, and it's only going to get better from here. So I'm pretty sure I made the right decision.
Right, so last question here. Last year you had a season-ending knee injury, a horrific injury, and you were able to fight back from that through rehab, through all the work you put in the offseason, to come back better than ever. 5.5 sacks already this year, PSAC West Player of the Week. What was that battle like in the journey to get back on the field and be the best you've ever been?
So what not a lot of people know is that I actually hurt my knee previous to camp. I tore my quad and I tore my meniscus in camp. I actually tore it off the bone then in week 3, and that's when the trainers decided to give me that red shirt to come back and finish up my college career. It tied in actually really serendipitously with my academics. So fighting back, it's been a long journey, not gonna lie, especially me being by myself here in Clarion. I don't really have a family in the United States, obviously, so it's been tough, but we have an amazing training staff, and they're able to put me back on my feet in record time. We fought through, and you either let one of those injuries define you or you rise to the occasion. And something that Coach Hager always tells me is you cannot let your circumstances dictate your outcome. So that's what we did, and I believed in the cause, I believed in the process, and just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Awesome, Robbie. Thank you so much for your time. And that concludes week 10 of the Raymond Monica Show.